Hi everyone. So I was going to do my testimony a couple of weeks ago, but there was only a small group of us, so I can see everyone's here today, which is good, in fact. So, majority of you know that I'm a baby sister from my mom's side, and I've recently moved to Sydney about 2.5 months ago. And not everyone knows why I moved here, but at first it was only temporary, and things were really rough for me in Canberra, and I had been about 3 years. And just problems at home was really hard for me, and I didn't like how to cope with it. And so 3 years, and because that I found out I was struggling a lot, and I got depression really bad. And, I didn't know how to deal with anything. I was struggling at school because I couldn't focus. And anyways, so things got really bad, and I think this year was probably the worst year for me. And I just had like problems everywhere, just coming at me. And then anyways, so yeah, I was just finding it really hard to cope, and just thoughts were getting in my head, and I was here, but I was stuck in my mind, and I wasn't aware of anything. And so my thoughts were getting darker and deeper, and I was losing faith in God, and I didn't understand why this was happening, and I didn't understand why I could let that happen. Like, you know, I grew up in church, and you know, I thought I was doing everything right, and I was really trying to, you know, improve myself, but it wasn't working. Anyways, it got to the point where I couldn't take it, and I didn't want to be alive anymore. And I tried to take my own life. And I remember that night. It was really hard. And luckily, I made it alive, but I had to go to hospital. And I remember my mum was next to me. She didn't know what to do. It was really hard for her, and she didn't know how to react, and she just had her like head in her palms, and I was just lying there. And they put me in emergency straight away, and they were putting all these things in me, like I had needles in me, and I was scared. Anyways, the nurse came in, and she pointed to the machine next to me, and she said that your life depends on this machine right now. She's like, you might not be able to make it. Knowing that, like, it's scary, it's not fun. And I was just confused, and everything, like, I just had different emotions, and, you know, those could have been my last moments in that bed. I hadn't slept the night before at all, and I had gone to school that day, and that night I was in hospital when I was tired, and, you know, I couldn't sleep, and I was just confused. And you know, I just had like nurses and stuff asking me all of like why and how it was in my life and why it had led up to that. And it was just too much. Like I was just reminded of everything that had gone on in my life. Anyways, I was in hospital for about 3 days, and then at 6 o'clock the next morning they put me into a room, and they told me that I was going to be alive. And I was like, okay, you know, hopefully things will work out now. But then they told me that I could either have brain injury, heart injury, or liver. And I was like, now I'm going to be alive, and I'm going to have to deal with this. Like, you know, I was just like, I didn't understand at all. And I was just confused, and I was by myself at the hospital, so thank you. And so I was just thinking about it, and I didn't understand. And I had a lot of time on my hands there, like I didn't have much to do except for lie in my bed. So I started to pray, and I hadn't prayed in a while. And I was praying, like, but I was asking God questions, and I was like, why would you let this happen? Like, you know how hard this was for me. Like this, I can't do this, but there's no way out of it. And I just asked him questions, and then I stopped because I was like, you know, he can't talk back to me, like, you know, and I stopped. So then, thankfully, later on that day, I found out that I didn't have anything. I was fine, and they said that was a miracle that happened because they weren't expecting that. They thought I was going to die, and to not have any like brain injuries or anything, I'm very lucky, and I'm lucky to be here today. And anyways, I still like I had understood what I did, but it hadn't really hit me yet. And then the next day, I had like all these youth workers and people like that come in, and then they were just they're telling me I couldn't go home. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, you can't go back and live with your mum. And they were telling me that I wasn't thinking right, I wasn't normal, and like saying I had to go to like a mental home. But like they didn't understand what I'd been through, and for that to say that to me, like, it hurt. And I just like I knew like after that I was like, great, like now I'm gonna have to deal with all these problems and being accused for not being normal. Like it wasn't good. And then so that kind of hit me. And then the nurse came in. And she said, someone's on the phone with you. And so I went and was with you. I remember picking it up. I was just crying. And she was just asking me all these questions, like, you know, why'd you do that? Like, I don't understand, like, why did you call me for help and stuff? That's when it really hit me. You know? That's when I realized, like, how bad I actually got, and I felt like it was just mixed emotions, like I didn't know what to feel, and I felt bad that I did that. Like, you know, when I did try to take my life, I just thought of myself, and I thought there was no way out of it, you know. But you know, that really hurt me hearing like that, how much that like upset my sister, and so she came, and but I told my mum not to tell anyone else. She had told only my family in Canberra, but my dad lives in Melbourne with my other brothers and sisters, and I told her not to tell them. I was like, please don't, like, I don't want them to think anything, like, I'm getting accused for not thinking right, like, I don't want my family to think that either. And I was like, okay. So on the third day, Vivi and Carol came to visit me, and then later on that afternoon I got released. And so yeah, but then, you know, I was just hoping things would get better, and I thought it might, just like to see like how bad it affected me. And you know, I was talking to my mum about it and stuff, and then the next night my mum came and told me that she told my brothers and sisters and my dad, and they weren't happy that I didn't want them to know, and they were angry and they were upset and they were confused from something so serious that they didn't even need to know about. And then they were just causing arguments, and there was massive problems again. It was all over again. And I was like, what? Like, you know, I made it all alive, and now this is happening again. Like, I don't understand it. Anyway, so this was in May this year, and then things didn't change. It was still bad, and I was getting like migraines a lot for like 3 days straight, and I was throwing up a lot, and yeah, I was really sick, but it was just because of the overdose. And so I went to the doctors, and they said I could take medicine again, so then I was fine. But you know, the problems weren't any better. And then not the holidays now, but the holidays before that, I had gone to Melbourne. And then I came back, and boom, there was another problem. And I had to go to my auntie's house, and like I physically and like emotionally couldn't go back to my house in Canberra, and I didn't know what to do. I thought, you know, I had already lived with my dad. I'm like, where am I going to go? Like, you know, I was so confused, and I literally felt like someone had like just grabbed everything I'd hoped for and dreamed for like out of me. I felt empty. I felt like I had nothing, and I didn't see a future for me anymore, and I thought that everything I'd planned was just gone away. Everything was just destroyed. And I spoke to a lot of my family that morning, but I remember Vic's conversation the clearest, and I told her, and I was like, you know, what am I supposed to do? Like, you know, why is this happening again? Like, I don't understand. I just feel like empty, you know. And I was like, oh, this was like a week before my birthday. You know, like I had plans, and you know, I was excited for it. Now I'm just gonna like, you know, I don't even know where I'm gonna be. And Vic just said like, take it day by day. In my head I was like, how am I supposed to take it day by day? Like, this has been happening, and like I can't deal with it. So she suggested that I would stay with her for a bit, just for a bit, however long I needed, and that's what I needed. I need to get away. So so the next day she came, and I went to Sydney with her. And even though everything that happened, I was really upset, but I was excited too. I needed it. And then later on that night, we went to the Olivares' house, and they were so welcoming, and I hadn't seen them since I was little. And like, even though it was something like kind of small, like just next to the house, but that night meant a lot to me. They were so welcoming and like made me feel like a family. And like, I remember telling you all that week, like, I can't wait to see them again. Like, I was so happy to be out of that, all the like constant problems. And like, I knew that like I was going to see them a lot because they were like really family. And I was just so happy, like, you know, like, I wasn't used to that. So yeah, and then you know, then later that Friday I met all of you here and we went looking for the homeless and stuff. We didn't find anyone, but we saved one person. But yeah, I remember then we got in the car and he was like, so this person related to this person, you know, this person was wearing this, and like, I'm confused because there's so many people, and but I was excited, like I was excited to get everyone to know everyone better. And so I was taking it day by day. And then the next day was my birthday, and you know, me and Vivi and Jimena and Mia, we went out, and you know, I had a good day, and took a lot off my minds. And then later that night, we went to the Costco's, and Kiara had set up like all these drinks and like, food. It was really nice. But you know, weeks going on, but I loved it in Sydney. I really did. But I still like, you know, I had to, after like those 3 years of suffering and pain and stuff I couldn't deal with, like it was worth it, because now I appreciate things a lot more and I'm more grateful. And I feel like God had like put his hand out and said like, here, take it and I'll show you the good. And I did take his hands and I was shown that. I don't even know what words to use to explain like how grateful I am to, you know, be here and be around these people. Like I love you all so much. Like I'm not really, maybe not blood related to all of you, but you are my family. I love it here, and I love coming to church every weekend and being around like all you people. And I love coming home and being around like everyone. I'm really grateful for having you as my sister too. She's done so much for me. I don't know like where I'd be without her. She's so strong to have doing this for me, and I'm really blessed. Like she's taught me so much, and she's like, you know, like I ask her for advice all the time, and she's done a lot. Like it's not easy. I'm sure it's not easy looking after her like a little sister, but I love it with her. Like she's done so much for me. You know, I've been blessed with a new life. And I'm grateful for God to have His plans out for me and to have you be there for me. And yeah, it's a really miracle for me. And like I said, it was really bad for me in Canberra, but I'm really grateful now. And you know, everything you've all done for me, like even little things like just, like that night when I met you all, when how welcoming you all, that meant everything to me. Like it really did. Like I wasn't used to that at all. I'd never got that kind of welcoming before. And especially because I hadn't met some of you before, like it meant even more. You know, and like inviting you over to your house, and like, you know, some couple of you knew about what had been going on, and you were willing to like support me and say like, I'm always with you if you need anything, like let me know. And it meant a lot because when I was in Canberra, I kept things to myself a lot, and I felt alone, and I didn't have like over the phone calls and stuff, yeah, but at home and stuff I had no one to go to because I was the oldest, and so it was really hard. And so I'm really, really grateful. Like God has done something very beautiful in my life, very beautiful. And yeah, like I'm excited for, I have more coming for me. Like I've been here for 2.5 months and my life has changed completely. To the 15th of May I was in the hospital to, you know, come to life, and that time I was praying and I was asking God, like, you know, why did you let this happen and stuff. Now I know why. And I thought like He wasn't going to answer my prayer, but He showed it in life, in actions, and all around me. And I see that now, and I'm not stuck in my head anymore. Like I'm aware of things, and I'm aware of people, and I've learned so much, and I'm so grateful. I love God, like, and I'm so glad I have that faith and truth with Him again, like that bond. And I'm never letting go of that ever again. I'm never doubting Him, because now I know that like I'm not alone anymore. Like when I was in Canberra, I really wasn't alone. I thought I got there, but I didn't see that. And all I had to do was let in, and I had to take a massive impact on my life for me to see that. And you know, finding that, like, because I'm never letting go of that ever again. And I'm so grateful to be around everyone here. Like, you've showed me so much. It's beautiful. I could go on forever, really. You know, and like the events, like that time, like you did that thing for my birthday here. That was really beautiful. It really is. Like, just things like that. You know, just goes to show like how lucky we all are to have each other in our lives. I think. Yeah, and I love you all of you. So, you know, I'm very grateful. Yeah.